Hey, how are you guys doing? I wanted to hop on here for a quick second before I end my day. So, of course, give me a second to make sure that I am live everywhere that I want to be. So, of course, as you guys come in, say hi, hello, hey, all that awesome stuff so that I can see who's on. Also, let me know where in the world you guys are located type of thing so I know who I'm talking to. And let me know what type of coaching you do. So once again, say hi, hello, hey. Let me know what type of coaching you do and let me know where in the world you are located. And so while you're doing that, I will do my intro. My name is Beverly Walthour, and I am a business strategist specifically for Christian female coaches who are looking to create more income and more impact without compromising their Christian values. I'm also a TV and radio show host. So we film and record the TV and radio show here in Atlanta, GA. And so I think I am now everywhere that I desire to be here on this web. Those of you, if you're joining me over there on hey, thank you, Dr. Ame. If you guys are joining me over there on YouTube, that's one of my new little places to hang out is over on YouTube. So I'm vibing and feeling it over there on YouTube. So if you're joining me over on YouTube, let me know. I can tell because your little icon's a little different. But hey, let me know if you're over there, especially if you're catching me on the replay. And so I think I am good. I think I have everything that I need to have on here. Those of you, if you're in my Facebook group, then you've seen this little conversation I have had with my little right now. I am in Facebook jail over there in my I'm in Facebook jail over in my Facebook group. Actually, anybody's group. So if I'm in anybody's group, I can't post it in anybody's group at this time. But it's all good. I'm making it work. I get out of jail at I get out of Facebook jail tomorrow morning at about 10:15. So I think I'm just gonna post every minute just because I'm happy to be out of Facebook jail. So we're gonna see how that thing works. So if you're in my Facebook group, then I did talk to you guys about what happened and how I ended up in Facebook jail and the workaround because there's always ways to work around things. That's one thing I always tell you guys as entrepreneurs. Like you should always be in that mode of problem solving. Like you should always be in that space and place where you're like, okay, this didn't work like this. So once again, I always say either we need to tweak something or we need to toss it out the window altogether type of thing. So always be on the lookout on how you can actually tweak things, how you can make those things better. Okay. And so you guys, this will be a short live. I say this all the time. I say this all the time. It's going to be a short live. Thank you, Lisa, for letting me know. Yes, okay. So she wants to be a life coach. We have our executive coach over here, Dr. Ame. Yeah, it's all good though. I figured out a workaround. And I'll tell you guys. So what happened was I was in a Facebook group and I was replying to comments, and the replies that I was given were very similar. And so Facebook sees that as spam. So Facebook notified me and said, hey, this goes against our terms of service. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds like I'm gonna stop commenting that day. And so I think I got that message on Monday. And then on Tuesday, like, well, hey, it's been 24 hours. Let me continue with the messaging. And then Facebook like, no, ma'am. Didn't we tell you yesterday, no, ma'am, to stop. So like I said, so I got a message saying that I could not comment or post in anyone's group in which I was not the admin. I'm like, okay, well, fine. I'll just go back in my own group and do what I want to do in my own group. And so then went to post in my own group, and Facebook was like, no, you can't post. I'm like, but wait a minute, your message said I couldn't do it in somebody else's group. This is my group. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. So then what I did was I said, well, my business page. So FYI, those of you, if you have a Facebook group, make sure that your business page is linked. Make sure you link your business page. So what it does allow for me to do is comment under my business page. So ever since Tuesday, I've been commenting from my business page. I probably don't get the same reach as I do with my personal page, but that's cool because I'm still able to post over there. So yeah, so that's my workaround. So if you do have your own Facebook group, I do encourage you to link your business page to your group. So if you ever have that happen, you can still leave comments and stuff under your business page. Okay. So that was a free tip, no extra charge. But now to get into this topic that I have for today. So you guys, I just really wanted to share this very quickly. And I'm speaking from experience. I know in the online space, it could be very tempting to do a bunch of things. It can be very tempting to do a bunch of things. Hey, Terry, cool. I love that. I love what you do. Cool. Okay, Lisa, she's in Massachusetts. Cool. And so you guys, I know in the online space, ask me how I know, it can be very tempting to do a bunch of things in your business. because it's so many different shiny objects. That's what we call it. It's a whole lot of shiny objects. So there's someone over here telling you to do this. So somebody's over here saying you have to build your YouTube page, and I can show you how to build your YouTube page. There's someone over there saying that, hey, the money's in the list. The money's in the list. I'm going to show you all these headings that you can do, and I can show you all these emails that you can send so on and so forth. And then there's someone over there that's saying, hey, no, the way to go right now, Facebook is dead. The place to be is Pinterest. And 82% of the people who use Pinterest, they're female. So, if your market is female, then you need to be over there on Pinterest. Now, I don't know if that's the stat or not. I just made that up. So like I said, there's so many different things. Oh, chatbots was huge for a while. So there's always so many different things going on that will vie for your attention. So many different things that you could try, in order for you to grow your business or to automate your business or to be able to, have it where we see the pictures where people are posing in front of the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff with their private jet and all that cool stuff like that. But you guys, I'm telling you, this is a reminder to please keep things simple, especially if you're not hitting between $15,000 and $20,000 a month consistently in your business. Like if you're not doing this consistently between $15,000 and $20,000 months, keep it simple. Even if you are at that $20,000 plus mark, I still encourage you guys to keep it simple, because a lot of times we'll end up doing a bunch of stuff that we don't even need to do in this attempt to either grow the business, scale the business. What are the other words that we use? Automate the business and all this stuff like that. Now, yes, there are certain things you do want to have in place to automate in your business. Yes, yes, and yes. But once again, some of us in this attempt to reach the success or to scale or to automate, or whichever words we want to use, we're doing some things and we're out of order. And so when I say out of order, it's things where, like I said, you're doing a bunch of things and you're going to end up in this space and place that once you're done and you actually look back, you're like, I used a lot of time and resources, both, time is my resource and money is my resource, that I didn't necessarily need to do this. And so I strongly encourage you guys, when it comes to keeping it simple. So of course, you guys know my story as far as when I talk about keep it simple. First of all, be crystal clear on who you serve. Be crystal clear on why you serve that person. So that's another thing too. So, when you're crystal clear on who you serve, my thing is be laser focused on that person. Be laser focused on the person that you want to serve, because you get a choice. As an entrepreneur, I get to choose who I want to serve. So for instance, today, someone in my community messaged me and she said, hey, Bev, do you ever get any pushback from people? No, she asked me, do I say in my promotions that I support Christian people? And I said, yeah. I said, everywhere I say Christian female coaches. And so her thing was she had gotten some pushback from someone who said that she was discriminating against non-Christians. And so my thing is, when you are so crystal clear on who you serve, when someone comes to you with something like, well, what if this and what if that and you can stand firm in who it is that you serve and why. So that's why I'm always saying be crystal clear on who you serve, be crystal clear on the results that you help people get. So like I said, when people come to you, whether or not it's a naysayer over there, and I'm quite sure that person didn't mean her any harm. As a matter of fact, she said she didn't get offended, but it just made her start to think. And so my thing is, when you're crystal clear on who you serve, it allows for you to be laser focused. So when those people come that are not, your ideal client, or even if they question who you serve, then once again, you can stand in why you serve who you serve. Does that make sense? So it reminds me of that meme. I think it has Shaquille O'Neal or something, and he's blocking all this negativity. And that's what it reminds me of. Like, I'm blocking these people, hey, if you're not the person that I serve, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Like, I'm blocking that and I'm fine with it. Like I said, being confident in who you serve and why you serve the person that you serve. So you need to make sure that you're crystal clear on that. So that's one of the things about being the basics, like, and keeping it simple. I truly believe that a lot of us end up getting caught up. We end up getting hung up. We end up getting off track when we start to serve all these different people, because somebody said, well, hey, you don't want to miss out on the $97 people. And hey, you don't want to miss out on the $497 people. And hey, you don't want to miss out on the $997 people. And hey, you don't want to miss out on the $3,000 people. So you're creating all of these things and you're doing all of these things trying to catch all these people, because we've been told, don't leave money on the table. Don't leave money on the table. Don't leave money on the table. And so we feel like we have to catch everybody at every different stage that they're in, as a possibility when it comes to our ideal client. And so, like I said, but the issue with that is you get so sidetracked in creating and consuming and creating and consuming that you don't ever get out there and actually talk to the people. And so my thing is be crystal clear on who it is that you want to serve. And then let that be the person that you serve. And once again, you being okay with, hey, you're not my ideal, but I know someone that I can refer you to. Like, you have to be crystal clear with that. And I know some of us, but man, you don't understand. I got this to pay, the car note, the kids got the school and the mortgage and all that stuff. I get all that. I get all that. But I'm also telling you, when you get out of alignment with who you serve, it causes so many other issues in so many other areas. So now you're out of alignment. And once again, now you're coming in, more than likely you have to drag that person across the finish line. That person is not doing what they're supposed to be doing as your coaching client. So now you're ticked off. They're mad because they were like, well, shoot, I thought it was going to be like this. And you're like, well, man, you see what I'm saying? So you end up out of alignment. So it's so much more hassle. And so I'm such a firm believer. We know in the kingdom that there is no lack. So if you really flat out just can't serve that person, or you do not want to serve that person and you refer them to somebody else, I am such a firm believer that God will bring 2 more people in their space. But the thing is, you won't be able to serve those people because you've now taken on someone who was not your ideal. So now that person is taking up your space. So once again, release them. It is okay. Release, release, release. So be crystal clear on who you serve and why you serve who you serve. Also, be crystal clear on the offers that you want to put out there. Be crystal clear. This is who I want to serve. This is how I want to serve them. Like, this offer is going to help them get the results. So if they get into this program, they follow these steps and they'll be able to achieve X, Y, Z. Like, be crystal clear on that. Be crystal clear on who your offer is for and how they'll be able to get the results that they desire to get with that offer. Like, be crystal clear on that. And once again, do note that you don't have to have an offer for every single person that you come across. You do not. And so, like I said, I strongly encourage you. There are some coaches out there, they only have one offer. There are some coaches that only have one offer. But my thing is, when you have more than, I'm going to say 2 or 3, if you have more than like 3 offers, if you got 5, 6, 7, 8, that's too many. Stop. Because now you want to look at yourself and you want to ask yourself, why am I offering all of these different things? Once again, get to the root of that. If it's based out of fear and doubt and worry, and if I don't do this and I'm gonna miss this person over here, and they said that I need to have, stop. Because my thing is, you said that they said. Is that what God said? Did God tell you to have 15 different offers? Did he tell you to have 15 different offers? Did you even consult him on what you needed to offer these people? Be really careful and making sure you're not doing business the way that the world does business. We need to be really careful with that. Because once again, this whole, not leaving money on the table type of thing, to me, that's a mindset. That's a scarcity mindset type of thing. Well, Bev, how is that a scarcity mindset if we want to make sure that we're stuck? Once again, it's the reason why you're doing it. It's the reason why. If I don't offer a $5 offer, then I'm not going to be able to serve the $5 people. Do you want to serve the $5 people? Nothing wrong with $5 people, but is that who you want to serve? If that's not who you want to serve, then you don't have to. You don't have to serve somebody just because somebody said, well, hey, you should have something for that person over there. So you guys, let me know if that makes sense. Like, be really careful about the reasons why you're offering certain programs. You guys also know my thing with pricing. Be really careful about the reason why you have things priced the way you do. Please make sure that you're not pricing things out of fear. Make sure that you're not pricing things out of, well, hey, babe, right now we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. Once again, your value is your value is your value. Everybody's in the midst of this pandemic. This is a global thing. But you have, once again, the Bentley car dealership. They're not lowering their prices because we're in the middle of a pandemic. They know who their people are. They know who they serve. Does that make sense? So once again, you want to keep that in mind, that once again, you are here to serve a specific group of people. Those other people will be served by other people. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to service everybody. And that is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine if you're not servicing everybody. I promise you, God has somebody for that other group of people, that type of thing. So that's what I mean. And so I was talking to a client of mine. And so, I was talking to a client of mine today. And so, of course, we were talking about the economy and what's going on with the economy. And so one thing that I reminded her of was the fact that, yes, even when we are in a recession, so even if your economy is in a recession, there are still people looking to invest. There are still people looking to grow. There are people still, so whether or not they're investing in their personal development or their professional development, there are still people out there We have to be really careful to make sure that we don't lump everybody into the same category. Well, hey, Deb, we're in the midst of a recession. I'm not saying we're in a recession right now. That's not what I'm saying. But, you can't say, well, hey, Deb, we're in the midst of a recession, so nobody's investing. Hey, Deb, we're in the midst of a pandemic, so nobody's investing. Hey, Deb, we got an election coming up here in the States, so nobody, that's what I mean by being really careful to make sure that you're not lumping everybody into the same category. That type of thing. That's what I mean by that. Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. And so you guys, that's the thing that you want to keep in mind. Make sure that you're not lumping everybody. And of course, you guys know how I feel about saying, well, hey, Deb, we get ready to run up on the holidays and people not investing in the holidays. That doesn't even make sense. Listen to what you're saying. What do you mean people are not investing because of the holidays when that's what people are doing? People are buying during the holidays. So remember I said, why not have them buy one of your services? Why is that not something they can invest in? Why not? I'm just saying. And they spend a little bit more time at home, so they have enough time to consume your content. They have enough time to be a part of your program. Shift your thinking. And so I shared one of the biggest months, well, it's different now, but one of the biggest months that I had 2 years ago was in December, the last month of the year, where everybody's like, well, hey, Deb, it's Christmas and people are doing this for Christmas and Christmas. And that was one of the biggest months that I had, revenue wise, that particular month. And it was the last month where people were slowing down. I'm like, I'm going through and I'm scooping up these last people before this holiday hit. And then, as a matter of fact, that year, I only worked the first 2 weeks in December that particular year because I like to take off. I'm still used to the teacher calendar. We take the last couple of weeks off. And so even in those 2 weeks, like I said, that was the most I had ever made in a month. At that time, it was $30,000 in sales that month. And once again, it was the first 2 weeks in December. So you want to be really careful and make sure that you are not, picking up and picking up those words or those thoughts or those habits. So make sure that that's not a part of your vocabulary. Keep it simple in the sense of, hey, I know I have some people to serve. I know up until whenever I have people to serve. There are still people out there that need this service, that want my services. Keep that always as your mindset. Keep it simple. Even with your mindset when it comes to your pricing and your packaging. I know that there's somebody out there that will invest in this program. I know that there's somebody out there that will invest in this program. And so, so like I said, make sure you have the offer. Make sure you have the person that you want to serve. And then you guys, the other part to keeping it simple is your content. Just be consistent with your content. Put content out there that shows that you are the expert in whatever it is that you do. So I always say, people, it can be tips, it can be tricks, hacks. It can be myths, it can be misconceptions that are in your area, like those things that make you the expert on what it is that you do. It's your way of doing things. You want to have people acclimated to the way that you do things, because of course there's so many different coaches out there and everybody has their own way of doing things. But for your people, when you show up and you talk about how you do what you do and why you do what you do and why your way works, then once again, you're talking to your people. And so that's why you want to make sure that even with your content, be consistent with putting your content out there. So whether or not it's you going live, whether or not it's a post, whether or not it's an email to your list, blog, you speaking on other people's platforms, whatever it may be, just make sure that you're showing up consistently so that when people look at your content, they're like, okay, I see what she said about that. I never thought about, that if I am watching what I eat, that I can still have sweets. But if I have the sweets and I know that I have to do this on the other end, you see what I'm saying? That's what I mean when make sure that you show up as the expert. So your way may contradict what other people may be saying, but your way will resonate with your people. So that's why you have to get your message out there. So case in point, there's a coach, my money mindset coach. And so one of the things that I always used to say, so, when people are like, it's time, different ways to save money, that's this whole thing about saving money. And so what people would say, what people say is, hey, if you cut back on your Starbucks, if you don't go to Starbucks every day, then, you can save the $5 on the Starbucks, and hey, you have the 20, that's $25 in a week. Then you take that $25 in a week and you multiply that by 4, and that's $100. But in my mind, I'm the type of person but why can't I have my Starbucks and whatever other thing it is that I want? Why can't I have both? Why do I have to cut out my Starbucks if I want to have my Starbucks? And if I want to be able to have XYZ, why can't I have both? That was always the thought in my head. I didn't like when people would say, well, hey, in order for you to get this, you can cut out that. And so the one thing that sold me on my money mindset coach was that same thing. She said, I'm not a person that tells people to cut back unless that's what God told them to do. She was like, I'm not the person that tells you to cut back. I'm the person that's always telling you to look for the increase. And that was the thing that I'm like, boom, that's who I need as my money mindset coach. So once again, is that the norm? No, because once again, most people are talking about cut back. Now, did that appeal to everybody? No, it did not. But to her people, that appealed to her people. So it's the same thing with you. That's why it's so important for you to find your own voice, for you to be okay with quote unquote alienating people and making people upset, because you can't please everybody. If you are pleasing everybody, I'm wondering what you're doing. Like if you haven't had somebody that's pushed back on what you said, I'm wondering what's going on. I'm wondering what's going on, because once again, everybody's not going to agree with you, but be okay with that. Be okay with not everybody agreeing with you type of thing. It's okay, because once again, your message is for you and your people, your community. So when you put your message out there, that's why I'm always talking about putting out your message, being consistent, because when your person hears what your message is going to resonate with them. Remember, God, there's some people that God has for you. But in order for them to know that you're there, you have to speak up. You have to be out there letting them know, who you serve, how you serve, and all that stuff like that. Once again, that's why I'm such a huge fan of talking about misconceptions and myths. So I know when I get on here and I talk about, hey, you don't have to be on Pinterest. I know I'm ticking off the Pinterest strategists. I know I am. I know I'm ticking off the YouTube people when I say you don't need a new YouTube. I know I'm ticking off the people when I say you don't have to have this fancy website. I know. And I know it's people in my community. I know that. But my thing is, those are my beliefs. That is what I believe in. And once again, those people that my message is for, is going to resonate with them, because my people are all about keeping it simple. My people are all about keeping it simple. So them trying to run over there on YouTube or on Pinterest, trying to have their website, they're running all over the place. They're over here on Twitter. They're all over here. They're trying to build this 5-step funnel. They're trying to have all of this stuff go. It's too much. It is too much. And they've been doing all the things, and the things are not working. And so for my people, they need to keep it simple. They want to keep it simple. So if you go back and you look at my messaging, you will see the same thing over and over and over again. You will see me talking about keeping it simple. You guys, I'm telling you, when it comes to that, like I said, having your messaging on point, your content, and then having conversations with people. Those are the things that I tell my people. I've been singing this song for 2 years. I have been singing this song for 2 years. Why? Because it works. It works. And so once again, like I said, having that content out there, that consistent content, and then once again, having conversations with people. And so one of my clients today, we were kind of saying like, hey, let's go ahead and kind of reset a bit. So some things that she was doing, she was like, okay, babe, that didn't work. But we're like, okay, let's go ahead and reset type of thing. And so I'm always talking to them, okay, your hot audience, those people, we call them your lowest hanging fruit. Who you got? And she was like, oh, I got about 100 people. I wasn't expecting her to say 100. She said, I have about 100 people. I said, bet, this is what we're going to do. You decide of those 100 people, how many of them do you want to reach out to per day? Have your content out there that speaks to your people. I said, spend an hour. You can decide an hour, you can do 2 hours. But to make that decision to work on those two people, work on that activity, have your content out there, have the conversation with your people. Spend your hour that day working on just those activities. The rest of the time, you can do whatever. You can do whatever you want to. So if there's other stuff in your business you need to do, if you want to hang out with the family, with the husband, with the kids, all that, do what you want to do. But in that time, dedicate that time to just that. Get your mind reset on the fact that God has called you to do this thing. He has skilled you in such a way. He's given you these gifts. He's anointed you in this area. Focus on that. You're planting these seeds, the seeds that you planted before today, all of that stuff, they're going to harvest. And so it was just really and truly like a mindset kind of a shift, like getting laser focused and keeping it simple. And I know for some people, they're just like, man, that don't work. Well, Bev, I tried that for 2 days and that didn't work. Bev, I did it for a week and it didn't work. Once again, remain consistent with it. We know, first of all, to develop a new habit, what is that, 21 days to develop a new habit? And so I tell my clients, commit to it for 90 days. Commit to it for 90 days and watch what happens. And so once again, sometimes we can sit there, we can Netflix Netflix a whole series for a whole week. We're more committed to a Netflix series than we are to being in our business and remaining consistent in our business. We are more committed up to making sure that we watch this TV show that comes on every week, and we make sure that we don't miss an episode. If we do miss an episode, we make sure that we go back and watch it on demand or whatever it is. So we're more committed to that, watching a whole series, than we are sticking with something in our business. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have it backwards. We're not doing things that make sense. And so once again, remain consistent with that. Remain consistent with it. Like I said, for 90 days, and watch what happens. Once again, that content, having those conversations with people, watch what happens. And so even with that client, she was just like, okay, Bev, like I said, we had that reset. We kind of said, okay, let's just laser focus on this right here. This is your revenue goal for the rest of 2020. Let's hit it. And like, okay. So once again, having that conversation about, keeping it simple. What do we want to focus on? She ended up having her sales call. She closed the sale. Because once again, it's just keeping it simple. Like, we have to strip away all this extra stuff and all these things that we feel like we should be doing. And once again, you don't. My thing is, get back to keeping it simple, as far as, because the part and the reason why this stuff works, this whole keeping it simple with your content and your conversation, is because it allows for you to develop relationships. And so in your business, I'm telling you, like, those relationships are so important. So you build relationships through your content, you build relationships through your conversations. Does that make sense? Yep. I'm telling you, Diane, we are more committed to that, but it's just like, hey, I have to make a shift. And so if I'm serious about this thing and really and truly having that kind of success. And so, like I said, we decided today, okay, boom, this is what we're going to focus on. This is the goal. And so, and I always say to people, my clients, when they close $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in a week, the one thing that I will say to them, and the one thing that I say about that period is, imagine the type of impact. So if you close $10,000 in a week, imagine the type of impact that has on your life and on the life of your clients. Because if you're closing $10,000 a week, then more than likely, it's a program that you have. It's probably a $2,500 program or a $5,000 program. So if you have a $5,000 program, imagine the impact that program, the transformation that program will also have on your client. So not only does it impact you, but it also impacts your client. And I always say it's a ripple effect. So in whatever way that you impact your clients, so whether or not it's through health, whether or not it's through relationships, whether or not it's through leadership development, business development, whatever it may be. So if they're investing at that level, and they're investing in a $5,000 program or a $7,000 program or a $10,000 program. So imagine, like I said, how that impacts your life and your business, because that's income that's coming in to your business, but also that impact that you're having on their lives. Because once again, more than likely, that's going to be a transformational program that you're offering. And so now you know that you're transforming someone's life or business, relationship, health, however you work with your people. So that's the kind of thoughts that you want to have. It's like, hey, if I'm able to sell this $5,000 program, then hey, what type of impact would that have on that person's life? Because that's a transformational program that I have. Or hey, if I'm able to sell this $10,000 program, imagine the impact that would have not only on my life and my business, but on the life of that other person that you are serving. That's how you want to shift your thinking when it comes to, your programs and your offer, especially that price point, especially the people that I serve, as far as us being Christians, because once again, we don't want to be money hungry. And I always tell people, hey, it's about your intention. It's all about your intentions. If your intentions is just to sell, you don't care who you sell to, you just want to sell something, then no, those are not the right intentions. But if your intentions are to be able to impact others through the business that you have, and in exchange for that impact, there's that income there, then yes. But once again, knowing that as believers in business, that we were designed and created to be wealthy. And when I say wealthy, I mean in every area of your life. You are designed to be wealthy. You are designed to prosper. You are designed to live in overflow. You are designed to live in abundance in every area of your life. So why not your business as well? Why is it okay for me to say, okay, guys, I really want your joy. I really want your peace. I really want your discernment. I really want your, you know what I'm saying? Like, we desire to be wealthy in abundance and walking in overflow in all of those areas. Why not my business as well? Why not my business? Once again, and I say this all the time, God knows the definition of a business. When he told you to start a business, he knew part of a business was you bringing in revenue, you bringing in a profit into your business type of thing. So keep that in mind. So you guys, like I said, just keep it simple. Keep it simple on who you serve. why you serve, who you serve. Keep it simple. Who you serve, why you serve them, how you want to serve them with your offer. Keep that simple. Keep your pricing simple. Put your content out there, speaking to your people and who you were called to serve, and have those conversations. Keep it simple. You don't have to be all over the place. I tell people this all the time. You know, when people are like, man, I don't want to be all over social media. That's the wrong mindset, first of all, because if you're all over social media, that means that you don't have a strategy. We're not going to be all over social media. I am having a conversation with my people using social media, using my email list, using my blog. So watch your words, because if you're saying I don't want to be all over social media, you see what I'm saying? So be really careful about your words and the thoughts that you are thinking, when it comes to your business. So keep that in mind. So like I said, you guys, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And did I say keep it simple? When you do that, I promise you, you'll notice those shifts and changes in your business. So I want to hop on here as that reminder to you guys to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Of course, you guys, if you do not know, I'm going to plug the challenge, because this right here, this challenge will show you what you can do to keep it simple. We are going to keep it very simple with this challenge. Everything, we're coming from whatever you have right now, whatever you have access to right now, that is what we're going to use. And that's another thing with my clients. I don't tell them that they need to have a bunch of stuff to work with me. We start with wherever they are. We start with what you have when it comes to your social media, when it comes to your email list, if you blog, if you're having speaking engagements, whatever it is, we start from where you are. And so if you are not a part of my challenge, we get started on Monday. I cannot believe we're kicking it off on Monday. So if you have not signed up, we get started on Monday. So this is sign your next $2,000 plus coaching client in 5 days. So I'm going to show you in 5 days what you can do if you keep it simple. Keep it simple, do the work, and watch what happens. Once again, the last time I ran in July, people closed $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 clients in 5 days because they got laser focused. They kept it simple. They were focused on the essential parts of their business. All that other stuff, they tuned it out for 5 days. And as a result of that, like I said, they closed clients, they filled their programs, they booked out their calendars, they filled people in their own challenges, all that stuff that they were doing. So those are the types of things that we're going to focus on during those 5 days. Hey, Kitty, hey. Yep, all about keeping it simple. So if you have not joined us, ladies, join us at www.beverly5daychallenge.com. So once again, this is sign your next $2,000 plus coaching client in 5 days. We kick off on Monday. So we're at almost 200 coaches who have signed up. So let's go ahead and hit that $200 mark, 200 coach mark. Once again, this is my free challenge. Once you put in your name and email, there will be an opportunity for you to access resources that are designed to help you generate revenue before the challenge even starts. So if you want to access those things, you certainly can. You will see those opportunities when you put in your name and your email. So once again, go to www.beverly5daychallenge.com. You'll see the link. If you're on Facebook, you'll see it above in the title. If you are on YouTube, you'll see it down in the caption below the video. And so you guys, that's all that I have. Like I said, keep it simple. Keep it simple. And did I say keep it simple? So once again, I encourage you to join us starting on Monday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It will be hands-on, so you can't hide. It's not while I'm reading from some slides. That's not how I roll. There will be a teaching moment, but the majority of our time together, we are taking action. We are implementing type of thing. So please go ahead and join us at www.beverly5daychallenge.com. Once you put in your name and email, it will present you with some opportunities in order for you to generate revenue before the challenge starts. It also has everything laid out of what we're going to cover as well, so you know exactly what the challenge is going to be like. So you guys, I pray that you have an amazing rest of your day. Whenever you're watching this live, definitely leave your questions, your comments, all that good stuff, and I will get back with you. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, take care, take care.